Hi guys, Casper MMA here, and today we're back with another UFC prediction video on the channel. Today giving my predictions for UFC Mexico, Moreno versus Kavanagh. So last week on picks we did pretty well. I think we got 10 out of 14 correct or something like that, or 9 out of 13. I don't know, we got like 4 picks wrong overall. It wasn't the worst. We started really well on the prelims until like Zach Reyes lost a dodgy split decision. I thought he won. And then the main card was a bit dodgy as well. But we got the main event right. Predicted Strickland would win. Didn't think he would do it that convincingly, but he got the job done, and yeah, we did overall pretty good. And now we have this Mexican card this weekend, so I'm looking forward to giving my picks for it. But before I do that, make sure you guys are new around here and you enjoy this content, you go down below and hit that subscribe button. It's free and it's really appreciated. So there's 13 fights on this week's card, and we kick things off the first prelim of Wes Schultz versus Damian Pinas. Now, Wes Schultz is an 8-2 American man, 29 years of age. Came off the contender series. He was there twice. Lost once to KO against Abdul Malik, then came back again, then beat some other guy who was an undefeated guy, and then beat him by submission. So he looks pretty good. I mean, he's got many wins by submission, 5 in total, and then he's got a few like ground and pound wins as well. He's pretty good on the ground. His opponent is Damian Pinas. Very funny name, to be fair. He's from Aruba, 8-1. Only 23 years of age as well. He's very young. Also off the contender series. So this is basically just another contender series fight, really. Both these guys coming off the contender series, fighting each other. He won by round 1 KO in his first fight against Vitor Costa. And this guy is a killer machine, to be fair. He's got all finishes in his career. He's only got 1 loss, and that was a disqualification for an illegal kick. So apart from that, he's never really been beaten by anyone. So he looks pretty good. Like 7 wins by KO. And I think I'm going to have to pick him here. I mean, I can see a world where Wes Schultz wins. I mean, if he can take him down, exploit the grappling there, and then sub him. But I've got to back the Pinas to win this fight, and I'm going to back him to win by KO. And now we move up the card again to Eric Silva versus Francis Marshall. Now, Eric Silva, how is this guy still about? I mean, he's 38 years old, Venezuelan man, 9-3 record. The fact, yeah, he came into contender series in like 2022. He must have been like 34, something coming into the contender series. Got around 1 KO over against a 3-0 guy. So, I mean, they're really just letting anyone in back then. Then he came to the UFC, lost 2 fights in a row in the last like 4 years. He's got KO'd once and then got subbed as well. So, not the greatest run I've ever seen in the UFC. His opponent, Francis Marshall, is an American man, 8-3 record, only 26 years of age as well. He's not had the best UFC run either, but he has some decent wins. To be fair, beat Bazooka by split decision. Has lost a split decision to Myron Santos. Before that, I'm pretty sure he won that fight. Even Santos admitted that, I think, as well. It was a dodgy split. But he's gone to split decision 3 times in his career. Lost to Isaac Dulgarian as well. So overall, he's not a bad fighter, really. He's had a few decisions not go his way. So overall, he should be winning this fight pretty easily. I feel like Marshall is going to win this fight. So, I mean, he might go decision, might KO him, might sub him, who knows. But I'm going to back Marshall to win by submission. And now we're moving up to a women's fight now. Anesta Kareckaite versus Sofia Montenegro. Now, Kareckaite is a Lithuanian woman, 6-1-1 record, 27 years of age. I mean, her only loss was to Dion Barbosa in her first UFC fight after coming off the contender series. She won a split decision over Carly Judice, who we saw win last weekend, and she's doing pretty well at the minute. She's on a pretty good run, and she's just coming off another split decision in her last fight against Kali Ari. So, overall, she's been just about winning fights. It's women's; they always go to decision anyways. She's opponent is an Argentinian woman, 6-2 record, 26 years of age. She lost her only fight on the contender series. Her last fight on the contender series was a split decision loss to Cháirez. Still got signed anyways. I probably watched that fight. I just can't remember it. But she's now in the UFC. But outside of the UFC, she's had quite a few wins by finish, 3 KOs, 1 submission. But I don't think she's going to be a match for Kareckaite in this fight. She's already fought a few times in the UFC, got a few wins, and I reckon Kareckaite wins by decision. Now moving up the card again to Douglas Silva de Andrade versus Javier Reyes. Now, got another absolute unk on the card here. I've got de Andrade, I don't know how you say his name. Brazilian man, 29-6 record. He's 40 years of age now. Like, come on, mate. Just hang it up. It's time to leave. He's actually not been on a bad run in his last couple of fights, to be fair. I mean, his last win was 2020. No, his last win was 2023. Lost against Miles Johns 2024. Didn't fight in 2025, and now he's back again at 40 years of age. I mean, he's had a decent run in the UFC. Got some good wins as well in his time, but he's 7-6 in total. He's basically like he's winning a few, losing a few at the minute, and he's fighting Javier Reyes, who's a Colombian man, 22-5 record, coming off the Contender Series in his last fight, 32 years of age. Won by KO in round number 1 in his Contender Series fight, and around that he's been to like LFA before, lost a couple times to some decent opponents, but also has a few good wins in his career. And overall, I don't think it really matters who he is. I feel like he's going to win this fight anyways, just because he's not 40 years of age. So I'll be picking Javier Reyes to win this fight, and I reckon he gets it done by decision. Now we move up the card to where Christian Quiñonez versus Chris Moutinho. Now, interesting fight here. Quiñonez is the Mexican man, 18-5 record, 29 years of age. Not been doing too well recently. Lost his last 2 fights, both by rear naked choke. Did KO Taha before that, and then won on the Contender Series against Long Zhao. So some decent wins there, to be fair. But since then, he's not had too much luck. Has actually fought since 2024, to be fair. So he's had a bit of time off. He's had a counter fight as well. Chris Moutinho, the American man, 14-7 record, 33 years of age. Obviously, his second run in the UFC. He's not been doing too well in the UFC overall. Lost to Malcolm Wellmaker in his last fight. Got KO'd in round 1 there. I mean, if you're going to come back to the UFC, you don't want Malcolm Wellmaker, really, unless you're who's the other guy that Wellmaker lost to? E-Wing. You don't want to be him. But he's back again. 14-7. I feel like he's just going to lose again here. I mean, Quiñonez isn't on a good run, but I can't see him losing to Moutinho here. I just don't think Moutinho is at UFC level. I mean, he's really good outside the UFC. I just don't think he's good enough for the UFC. So I'm going to back Quiñonez to win by KO. Now we're moving up to another women's fight. Macy Chiasson versus Ailin Pérez. Now, Chiasson is a 10-5 woman, American, 34 years of age. She's had a mixed career in the UFC. She's 8-5 in total, so more wins than losses, so that's always good. Lost the last 2 fights in a row by decisions. Did have a 2-fight winning streak before that, with some performance of the night bonuses as well. She got like a KO and then a submission. So overall, she is like a decent fighter. I mean, she's been in the UFC for most of her career, because I mean, she was only like 2-0 before she went on the Ultimate Fighter. Then she's been in the UFC since. So she's a pretty good woman, top of like the division really. Ailin Pérez, on the other hand, is rising up the division. The Argentinian woman, 12-2 record, 31 years of age. She's only lost once in the UFC. Lost her debut to Edgar. Since then, she's been a 5-fight winning streak. 1 win by submission there. The rest she's won by decision. She's looked pretty convincing as well. She's definitely a decent women's fighter. Obviously, she's known for her twerking more than her fighting, to be honest. But I feel like we might get the twerking out again today. I mean, it's been a while since she last fought. I mean, it was like over a year ago, January 2025. So I think she'll be back, and I think she'll win this fight. I mean, I think definitely she's been getting better in her fights, and I feel like she's gonna get the decision win against Chiasson. Now we go up the card again to where Jose Medina versus Ryan Gandra. Now, I'd like to know how Medina's still got a contract with the UFC. Like, how many fights did they sign this guy for? The Bolivian man, 11-6 record, 34 years of age, on a 4-fight losing streak, including his fight on the Contender Series. Like, he got signed off the Contender Series when he lost, then went on a 3-fight losing streak. So this must be the last fight on his contract. He got subbed in his last fight by Dusko Todorovic. Like, I mean, if you get subbed, losing to Todorovic is like a sackable offense in itself. Got KO'd by Gautier, lost to Zach Reese. I mean, he's not been very good since he came to the UFC. Obviously, he's just lost. His opponent is Ryan Gandra, who, to be fair to him, isn't tested in the UFC yet. I mean, he's won on the Contender Series, got a round 1 KO over Trent Miller, and then he's only lost once in his whole career, and that was a KO very early on. So recently, he's been looking good. I mean, he's got a lot of wins by KO, a few submissions as well in there, and overall, he should be winning this. I mean, if he doesn't, ultimate fraud check, you've got to say, but he won the Contender Series. I reckon he's going to bring that into this fight, and I reckon Gandra wins by KO. Now we're up to the main card. Now we have Santiago Luna versus Angel Pacheco. Now Luna made a big statement, to be fair, in his first fight. He's a 7-0 Mexican man, 21 years of age, so very young, to be fair. Came to the UFC in his first fight, beat Quang Lee by round 1 KO. Very impressive. And overall, he's got all finishes in his career. He's got 3 wins by KO, 4 wins by submission. So you've got to say, he looks good for the young man. His opponent is Angel Pacheco, American dude, 7-3 record, 34 years of age. So very different points of the career of these two. This guy lost on the contender series to Danny Silva, still got signed, then lost a decision to Kaulo Lutheran, who is no longer in the UFC anyways. I think he's in PFL now, or something like that. So he's not done too well. Came to the UFC as 7-1. Now he's 7-3. So I feel like this should be another easy fight to pick. Luna should win this fight. I mean, Pacheco has never been finished before. He's lost 3 fights and they've all been losses by decision. But if anyone could do it, I think Luna is the man here. And I think Luna is going to get the win by KO. Next up on the card, we have Emmanuel Rodriguez versus Kevin Borjas. Now, Rodriguez is a 6-0 Mexican man, 26 years of age. You can tell, like, the opponent of the Mexicans higher up the card. I mean, it makes sense, they're in Mexico. But this guy looks pretty good. I mean, he's had 5 wins by KO, 1 win by submission in his career. I mean, he was on the Ultimate Fighter, did lose a split decision. Technically, he's not undefeated, but they don't really count the Ultimate Fighter fights on the record. Lost to Joseph Morales, who's on a pretty decent run since he came to the UFC. Won 2 fights by submission. But around that, he's undefeated. Won his fight in the contender series by uppercut in round number 1. So he looks a pretty good prospect, got to say. His opponent, Kevin Borjas, is a Peruvian man, 10-4 record, 28 years of age. He's not been in the greatest run in his last 4 fights. He's lost 3 and only won 1 against Ronaldo Rodriguez. Still don't know how he did that, because I remember picking Ronaldo Rodriguez thinking that was an easy pick. Did not, because Ronaldo Rodriguez beat like Odie Osborne and someone else before that, and then lost to Borjas. But around that, he's currently 1-3 in the UFC. He did win on the contender series, but only by decision. So overall, I feel like Rodriguez is going to win this fight. Rodriguez never gone to decision, so I think this is his first fight, because Borjas isn't the easiest opponent ever, so I'm going to back Rodriguez to win by decision. Now, moving up the card, where Edgar Cháirez versus Felipe Bunes. Now, Cháirez, don't know how to say his name, but he's a Mexican man, 12-6 record, 30 years of age. Has had an interesting UFC career. I mean, fought like Tatsuro Taira in his debut. He's lost on the contender series, fought Taira and in the UFC, lost a decision, but then fought Daniel Lacerda. Got some weird dodgy thing where he had him like got him in a choke. The ref tapped it because he went out cold. Then Lacerda woke up and the ref was like, "Oh, what the hell?" Then they rematched. They just did the same thing, and Lacerda got subbed out for real that time. So then he fought Joshua Van. Actually, put up a good performance there. To be fair, I think he rocked Van at one point in that fight, but lost the decision there. And then he's just coming off a win in his last fight. So he loves the submission. To be fair, 8 wins by submission in total for Cháirez. His opponent, Felipe Bunes, on the other hand, is a Brazilian man, 14-8 record, 36 years of age. I mean, he's pretty old now. He's getting on a bit. In the UFC, he's 1-2. Also lost to Joshua Van, got KO'd by him, but beat Jose Johnson by armbar, and then lost to Rafael Estevam in his last fight. So I feel like Cháirez should win this. I mean, you never know what's going to happen, really. Both these guys are pretty average fighters, really, but I'm going to back Cháirez to win. I mean, he's pretty good, especially on submissions and stuff. I feel like he can find another one here, and I reckon Cháirez is going to win by submission. And now we move up to Daniel Zellhuber versus Bobby Green. Now, Daniel Zellhuber is another Mexican man, 15-3 record, 26 years of age. I mean, he's interesting. I mean, he's obviously a very good fighter. I do rate Zellhuber a lot, but I mean, sometimes I just don't understand him. Like, his last 2 fights, he's lost both of them. He lost a split decision to Ribovic, which was a really good fight, to be fair. I mean, it was a fight of the night, I think, got. But I don't know how that was a split decision. I'm pretty sure Ribovic easily won that. But then lost to Michael Johnson before that. I mean, I'm pretty sure the odds were crazy. I think Zellhuber was a massive favourite. Lost to Michael Johnson somehow. And then around that, I mean, his only other loss was to Trey Ogden in his debut. But he's Wasn't a free fight winning streak at one point in the UFC. I mean, he's with some good fights, some good performances, and yeah, he's 3-3 in total. So he's an interesting one. But he's fighting King Green, or Bobby Green, as we should be calling him. Like, he's even won since he's called himself King Green. I mean, well, technically, he won his last fight against Lance Gibson Jr., which is a split decision. But Gibson Jr. is coming off, like, this is his first fight in the UFC. He's not even good. So, like, I think it's short notice or something. So, that's pretty much a layup for Bobby Green to actually get a win for once. But he's a bit crap nowadays. 39 years of age. Like, come on. How much do you need this money, man? Just give it a rest. I mean, he should have retired after that Jalen Turner fight when he got absolutely, like, destroyed by the ref, just not calling the fight. Then subbed by Paddy. Then flatline KO'd again by Ruffy. Like, come on, how much more can you take? Bobby Green probably going to get flatline KO'd again here, to be honest. Zellhuber is an exciting fighter, but I'm going to back him to be more careful in this fight. Just probably, and I think by that, he's just like trying not to get KO'd or subbed or something. So I'm going to back Zellhuber to win by decision. And now we move up to the co-main event, Marlon Vera versus David Martinez. Now, we have Chito Vera, 23-11 for the Ecuadorian man, 33 years of age now. I mean, his record's not been great, really, if you look at it. I mean, he's only had one win in his last 4 fights. I mean, one of them fights was for the belt, to be fair, and he's lost to Davison Figueiredo, Corey Sandhagen, all people like top of the division. I mean, lost a split decision to Zahar before that, which is not really excusable, really. That was a bad one. But obviously, we know how good Vera was. I mean, he had a really good run in the UFC, and then he lost the split decision to Corey Sandhagen. So he's kind of went downhill from there. His last win was Pedro Munoz. He's still obviously is he top 15? I mean, probably, yeah, it will be. He's still a good bantamweight in the division and stuff. But he's fighting David Martinez here, who's a Mexican man, 13-1 record, 27 years of age. I mean, he's undefeated in the UFC. He's only had 2 fights, to be fair. Beat Simon Oliveira by KO, and then just beat Rob Font by decision. I'm pretty sure I blanked that Rob Font fight out of my mind. I think it was the last Mexican card, maybe. I can't even remember. But yeah, I kind of blanked that one. But he's only lost 1 fight in his career against split decision to Vasquez. And yeah, I mean, he's looked pretty good since then. So, I mean, it's definitely like 2 guys, different trajectories in the UFC. One's kind of going down from the top, Vera, and then Martinez is coming up. But it's who's going to win this fight. And this is a tough one to call. I don't know what the odds are. I don't really check them before the fights. But this was probably my toughest one to pick out of all the fights on this card. And I'm going to back Chito Vera to win this one. I feel like his experience will play out here. I mean, Martinez only had 2 fights in the UFC. Obviously, I think he's capable of beating Vera. It depends what version of Vera turns up. Sometimes, you know, he just looks better. So I'm going to back Vera to win by decision. And now we move up to the main event. Brandon Moreno versus Liam Kavanagh. Now, I never know how you say his name. Lonnie Kavanagh. Don't know. But we have Moreno, who's fighting Kavanagh here. I mean, it was meant to be Almabayev or something like that, but then Kavanagh's stepped in, which is mental. I don't know how like he's deserved this fight, but I guess it's just who was there. Like, to be fair, Moreno has fought like pretty much everyone in the top like 15 division now. So they just need someone to pick up the phone, and Kavanagh was there, so he's stepping in here. I mean, Moreno had that early stoppage in his last fight against Tatsuro Taira. Obviously was losing, but definitely a little early. Didn't give him time to recover at all, get into like a position or anything. But before that, beat Steve Erceg, beat Albazi, both pretty convincingly, and then fights. And then it's just been these like title fights against like Pantoja, Figueiredo, Kai Kara-France stuff. So he's obviously, we obviously know how good Brandon Moreno is. He's still only 32 as well. Got quite a long time left probably in his career. So he's still kicking about at the top of the division. Will fight for the title again. I'll put my money on that happening. But he's fighting the Englishman in Kavanagh, or the English Chinese, I think it is. In 9-1 record, was undefeated at one point, 26 years of age. Yeah, was undefeated until he fought Charles Johnson in his last fight. I mean, Charles Johnson is such an interesting fighter. Will beat these like up and coming prospects like Joshua Van, fucking Kavanagh, gets KO and then just loses to some absolute bum. But he just lost like Alex Pérez, I think, Charles Johnson, his last fight. So he'll never really progress. He's just a gatekeeper pretty much. But Kavanagh, he's so good definitely for a prospect. I mean, he's a young guy. He's got a lot to learn, and probably like the Van situation. He got KO'd by Charles Johnson. He's going to learn from that. And I mean, he's just open, coming off like a thing, like he just has hands down. So I don't think he'll do that again. So this is definitely too big of a step up, but probably a learning experience for Kavanagh as well. This is all just learning experience. I'm pretty sure he'll come back better after these fights. And yes, I don't know what the odds are, but like Moreno should be like massively favourite, obviously, for this fight. He will win. It's just how he's going to do it. I don't think it'll last 5 rounds, clearly just because Kavanagh, he hasn't gone 5 rounds before. So I don't think he's going to go last the whole distance. I reckon he'll probably tire for a bit, or Moreno gets him early. So I reckon Moreno is going to win by submission. So there are my picks for UFC Mexico. Let me know down in the comments if you agree or disagree with any of my picks. And that's all for today's video. If you guys enjoyed me, leave a like, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.